Exactly.
For all the talk about shifting at Sonoma this week, NASCAR did not shift its opinion on how races finish under caution, even though last week was the third time in the last 4 races that the yellow flag was waving at the end. According to a NASCAR official, possibility we could see the change this season, maybe as soon as after the race next week at Daytona. Also, Joe Gibbs Racing Team working on a 3rd car for next year with FedEx coming on board as the sponsor. No drivers selected officially, but names we've heard, J.J. Yaley and Greg Biffle. So, who is, like to use the old slogan, absolutely positively going to be their driver overnight?
Now, how do you expect us to know something like that? I talked to J.D. Gibbs, and he told me they haven't interviewed any drivers, even though there's a lot of names in the rumor mill. But you need to realize one thing. They are building this team. They're already got it under construction, so they know what they're trying to do. They're going to build this team in a unique way. Build it first, and the driver will come.
What do you like? What do you think of that?
I think Biffle's the man. I tell you why. He's not been happy at Roush. That kid could have won every Busch race. He's had an incredible car in every Cup race, but he's had a lot of problems. I think that the more he denies it, being a former driver, the more I believe it.
And nice to have FedEx involved. It'll be the 11 car.
Be the 11 car,
right,
yep.
How about your thoughts on they're closer to finishing, guaranteeing a finish under a green flag, and you're shaking your head again.
The fear factor goes up from a driver's perspective, and there's just more disasters. More things are going to come out of that they did not anticipate. Every rule change that's been made based on race procedure this year, things have arisen that they didn't think about, and that's going to be another one of them.
Gimmick racing, that's what it is.
You think it will happen?
Racing. It's going to happen probably, but it's another gimmick, and I don't like gimmicks.
All right, and if you look around these beautiful grounds here, you see people lining up at the different souvenir trailers and stands. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon, their merchandise, the most popular. They sell out, but racing into the top 5, coming on strong. People in line for 24-year-old rookie Casey Kane, driver of the 9 car. No wins yet, but 4 second-place finishes, and that has fans believing that he'll soon be second to none.
Coming in number 2 on the charts for the 4th time this year is Casey Kane with When Will I Finally Win?
Second place with the second choice. The first runner-up is,
once again, the bridesmaid in second place on the inside, not running in second.
And I want to present the check to the runner-up.
Silver medalist.
And it's not so bad for second place.
And again, Casey Kane finds himself so close to victory lane.
Casey, you would have been my second choice.
Of course,
he finished second, too.
at least you remembered that one. Let's take a look at the points, and we'll get to Casey's position in a moment, and he's doing all right. In the points race, Jimmy Johnson ahead of Dale Earnhardt Jr., so Jimmy leading for the first time this year. We got 2 Chevys up at the top.
Yeah, and there's a couple of guys, the thing that jumps out at me is there's a couple of guys in the top 10 that hadn't even won a race yet.
The top 3 guys in points have not finished in the top 10 in races here, so they could shake up the points.
And we've said right now, the guys that are outside looking in, this could be one of those races that once again will kind of like upset the way this point standings kind of exist today.
Yeah,
Road course, that is.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Well, DW, reach up there like I always tell you. Pull them belts tight. It's going to be a busy day for you, buddy. 10 corners, 110 laps.
Got my hands full today, Larry. One on the wheel, one on the shifter. Boogity, 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 boys. Let's go gear slamming. Whoa, they made contact.
That didn't take long, did it?
Oh, Rusty was trying to get the line going up into the...
Oh, a car in the wall. Turn 1.
That sounded huge.
No caution flag.
Austin Cameron.
Austin Cameron.
The West Coast driver.
What a tough break.
And Kurt Busch in the 97, Rusty Wallace in the 2, up there in the turn 2 area. They got to the inside, got by pole sitter Jeff Gordon in the 24.
He's going to try to outbrake Rusty into this braking zone and doesn't.
Listen, here's what everybody out there today knows, Mike, Larry. That 24 car, if they don't stop him some way, he's a runaway train today.
DW, let's watch these leaders coming out of turn 10 down towards turn 11. Right here, I think this is where Jeff Gordon will try to make that move on Kurt Busch, outbrake him to the inside of turn 11.
That's classic right there. You just get a nose underneath the guy, take the line away. And I got to tell you something. That may be the last time they see Jeff Gordon.
I think what happened when Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace touched here in turn 1 and broke his momentum, that's how Kurt Busch took the lead at the top of the hill on the first lap.
Oh, Tony Stewart is in the wall and so is Ward Burton.
Sliding all the way up toward turn 2, and Ward gets into the tire barrier pretty hard. That'll give us our first full course caution of the day.
Tony was looking underneath the Ward as they come around turn 1 right here. Tony saw he wasn't going to make it, and he tried to slow down, but it was too late. Ward cut to make the corner, and bam, they got together.
Now, even though the caution flag is out and it's waving at all the flag stations around the track, if you recover from your spin, wherever you get back in line is your position.
Yeah, exactly. When you start maintaining caution speed. Remember, it takes 1 minute and 17 seconds to get around here. As long as you don't hit anything as Tony Stewart, you're in good shape.
You see Tony, he sees it's not going to be, he doesn't have enough room to make the pass. Tony, I don't believe, hit anything, and Ward just barely hit that outside wall. Tony was really lucky.
He gets in those tires pretty hard. Ward Burton into 0.
Thought he was going to
barely getting by.
Here it is. Sterling just closed the door on Morris.
Well, it's tight right there, Mike.
Yep.
The same thing happened with Tony there a while ago when Ward, there's not a lot of room right there, and there's a wall on either side, so you got to be right on it.
It's like running into a funnel.
And Morris didn't have clearance on him. It wasn't like it was Morris.
Second place car, he's in trouble.
Dick Berggren?
Well, he just came on the radio, Mike, and told the crew it's stumbling coming out of the corners, and then he said, oh, it's just shut off. The engine has died on car 97, Kurt Busch.
Well, it's running again.
Sounds like one of those ignition deals, Larry. Had to flip the ignition boxes.
There's so much heat generated here. Those ignition boxes under that windshield. Saw a lot of teams pumping air to them, trying to keep them cool. But he's going to come back across in the 7th position.
Plus, Larry, here, I mean, think of all the coolers that these things have got on for brakes, transmission, driver. A lot of load on the electrical system here.
And as hot as it here, Darrell, this is probably one of the more physical races a driver will go through.
You better have your work clothes on today, baby, because you're going to go left, right, and do a whole lot of gear shifting.
Matt Yoakum, what's the verdict on Junior's car? Any real damage?
All he said on the radio, Mike, was, I hit something low, I can't see. He's now running back in the 40th position.
No, crew chief Chad Canals on the 48 told his driver Jimmy Johnson, be careful, the 31 may have a flat tire. But Robbie Gordon has come by his pit box. And crew chief Chris Andrews looked at the car. Spotter also looking at it from the tower. Robbie Gordon confirmed that the car is all right and do not think they have a flat tire.
I'm not. 31's off the track up in the S's.
Yes, he is. And back on.
I think he does have that tire going down that they were talking about earlier.
What tire, Darrell?
Holy cow.
The left front's completely
gone.
gone.
Left front's gone.
What tire is in? It's just not there anymore. Oh, geez.
And of course, he'll be able to make it to pit road, but no, it's not. It wouldn't even turn. He's over in the tire wall. The caution is out.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen a race start, any race really, with the kind of things we've had happen so far.
New pavement. A lot of drivers counting points, chasing for the chase for the championship. Everybody's got an agenda and everybody's in a hurry.
Now, Jimmy Johnson, I think they smelled the caution flag coming. They made it to pit road before it was closed. He gets in there and gets those 4 tires and fuel.
Steve?
Okay.
There he is up
right
on the
your screen.
outside. There she goes.
Oh, yeah.
But it didn't appear that the center of the wheel broke out, at least what we saw right there.
I didn't.
Which is what we'd expect.
I was looking to see if there were lug nuts there. At first I thought there was. I don't think there's any lug nuts on there, Larry.
Of course, this drags about everything under the race car coming, trying to get back to pit road. Sway bar arms, everything else.
No left front tire. No turn to the right.
There, Steve.
Chris, as he came to pit road, he said, how did my wheel fall off this early in the race? They're going to have to adjust the sway bar arm now. They've taken the left front tire off. Now they're adjusting the sway bar arm. Dick?
Well, Kyle Busch is behind the wheel, and he is one angry young man. He had qualified third, but he's got dual problems right now. We talked about the potential electrical problem. In addition, there is an oil leak under the hood. They tried to fix it, but the NASCAR officials on pit road wouldn't let him go. He has lost a lap. Busch still on pit road, trying to get things fixed. Matt?
Second stop on pit road for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He was running in the 40th position. They've already put on 4 sticker tires now. They're trying to work on the toe on the left side, Chris.
Jamie McMurray coming to the inside of Bobby Labonte, who grants him room on the bottom. Kevin Harvick's going to take advantage as well.
Well, you open that door right there in 11, and everybody's going to get by. It's almost like Daytona, Talladega. They freight train you right there.
But of all the cars that came out here and tested over the spring, there was a lot of teams that came. all the fingers were pointed at this 42 car throughout the entire testing. He seemed to be the quickest and the best car on long runs.
And the big difference, Larry, he came out here and tested with his one-race teammate, Scott Pruitt.
Yeah, in fact, 3 of the Ganassi cars came. Jamie McMurray, Scott Pruitt, and Casey Mears.
Well, Scott Pruitt is in a very interesting situation today, Mike. He's running incredibly well this day, but you might wonder when these ringers come in, who is going to pit the car? Well, they've got an interesting way to do that. They're taking the crew from Casey Mears' car, number 41, and they're going to pit for Scott Pruitt today. And if time permits, the guys are going to run down to Mears' car and pit him too. So he's got a good crew when he's got to come in here and change tires and put fuel in it.
Thanks, Dick. Bobby Labonte to pit road. He had been backing up a bit, losing it. Ooh, 3 wide into 11. Is that going to work?
But I think this is a scheduled pit stop right here. We're at lap 20. I think these guys feel like from right here they can make it on one more stop.
You can pit here without losing a lap.
Yeah, and Mike, Larry knows this. You got to have a strategy, and you got to stick to it here. You don't let the race conditions dictate here what you're going to do. You figure out when you need to make your stops, you make them then, because you're going to come out ahead at the end of the day.
You almost have to put blinders on to your competition.
Exactly. Well, you don't run it like a oval. Here you run it like it's a different kind of animal, and it is.
Dick?
Well, Bobby Labonte's pit stop is not scheduled. It turns out the left front tire had gone down, so they are in here pitting the car now for 4 tires and fuel, but who knows? This may work out anyhow.
But depending on how far he can go on fuel, if he can run about 45 laps on fuel, there's Steve Scott Riggs in a 10-car rookie off the racetrack. This could be a positive for Bobby Labonte because he may can stretch it and make it on one stop.
Especially if there was a caution right now.
Absolutely.
That's a negative for Scott Riggs, who had trouble at turn 4, the same place where Dale Earnhardt Jr. went off earlier.
Yeah, Scott had a little trouble qualifying as well, so the road course was tough on the rookies. But if you're a rookie, you can get half of it this year, and you'll get the other half next year. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Oh, I didn't even know what happened, but I could see that coming.
You could see it coming.
I felt that one coming.
Welcome back to Infineon Raceway, where Jeff Gordon's lead now stands at 2.5 seconds over Scott Pruitt, who leads our Dodge front runners, with Pruitt second, Rusty Wallace third, and Jamie McMurray in fourth. Pruitt has 3 Trans Am championships, 2 IMSA GTO class championships. He's won the Daytona 24 Hours. He's won in IROC and the GT class of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. He won the Trans Am race here at Infineon Raceway. This is his 34th Cup start. He has a second place at Watkins Glen, and he can win today.
Oh, he can. He's got a great car, and boy, he's just doing a good job right now.
Anybody who can stay within sight of Jeff Gordon is doing a good job.
Such an accomplished road racer. You got to figure he's going to be around all day.
Elliott Sadler, on the other hand, watch him come in from the left side of your screen. Here he comes.
Calamity corner up here.
Turn 4. There he goes.
Yeah.
Terry Labonte in the 5 almost gets in trouble, and Dale Jarrett in 88's coming through as well.
Oh, well, Austin Cameron, they said you got to have numbers on the side of that car when you fix it and go back out, so they do.
That's a shame. It's a great kid, and qualified, made the race. I was hoping he'd have a good day.
You know, we talk about shifting and everything going on right now. We're hearing a report that Sterling Marlin in the 40 car, he's back in 18th position, but he has lost 3rd gear, and that's going to be awfully tricky. And you just wonder, did it have something to do with that spin a while ago?
That's what I'm thinking, Larry. Probably when he spun it around, he jammed her in one of those gears, broke something.
We'll have Hammond take a walk and see if he can find it.
Go down there and find it, Hammond. Hurry. Get off that hillside.
If you can find us a long way.
Or a sky hook.
Man. You know, I don't think Tony likes road racing.
I'm sorry, not Sadler. Brendan Gaughan is the car that spun.
He don't like it today anyhow.
He's not liking it today at all.
Robbie Gordon gets lapped by Jeff Gordon.
But I think the problem Robbie Gordon's fighting, you heard Steve Burns talk about it, and we saw those sparks when he lost the tire and wheel. It rubbed the sway bar arm off. The car is rolling over so bad, it's like he don't even have the sway bar hooked up. And that will not work at a road course. Won't work anywhere.
Tough break for the defending champion of the Dodge Save Mart 350. Scott Pruitt has done a great job of hanging on to Jeff Gordon's slipstream. He's got that gap down from 2.5 down to less than 2 seconds, with Wallace 3rd, McMurray 4th, Nemechek, Martin, and Harvick. Uh-oh, that is Brandon Ash off in the dirt. One of the West Coast drivers. Blue flags will wave up at the north end of the course, which instructs the drivers to take care, but does not prohibit passing.
So we stay green. No caution.
Scott Wimmer's been in, and here are both the leaders, Jeff Gordon and Scott Pruitt.
Somebody must have told Scott, if you do what that 24 car does all day long, you might win.
You'll have a good day.
That's right.
Rusty Wallace comes in as well, giving up third place. Matt?
Jeff Gordon comes to a stop, chasing his 8th road course victory. Kevin Harvick was just in. They tried tightening him up. They're going to try to tighten Gordon's car up. Air pressure and a track bar adjustment as well. They're talking about chassis adjustment on the left side. A little bit of trouble on the left front. He's down and away, Dick.
Scott Pruitt, quite a good run, given that he has not been in his stock car since last year at Watkins Glen. That was in August. Crew right now doing a good job. This, in fact, is Casey Mears' pit crew that's working on the car. Steve.
Ryan Newman just had his service complete, Dick. They talked about making air pressure adjustments in both rear tires and pulling a piece of tape off the grill.
Scott Pruitt
beat Gordon off pit road, Mike.
Yes, he did. A really quick stop by that Ganassi crew.
That was a great job, and I thought that Jeff was going to get by him, but he shot out in front of him and got the lead.
Now this is unexpected. Kevin Harvick is back in.
Had the looks of a problem on the left rear, a lug nut. And I think we'll see it right here. This was the first pit stop, Matt Yoakum.
Larry Mack, lug nut on the left rear. You called it.
Look at the official.
There you see the official pointing at it. You can't make a mistake like that and win the race here.
And you can't back up. I mean, you know, you can back up and put the lug nut on, but they're still going to give you a penalty.
A lot of different strategies playing out as Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads from Brian Vickers, Jeff Gordon, Scott Pruitt, and P.J. Jones.
The 10 car, he got off up turn 7, and he's been coming down through the dirt ever since, trying to stay out of people's way.
He's going to be glad to get out of Sonoma, I think.
So. He's had a bunch of excursions.
He'll be one of the escape from Alcatraz drivers at the end of the day. Steve?
Mike, Ricky Rudd just parked his car in the garage, and a 2-time winner here on this racetrack, but not today. Ricky, what's put you in the garage?
Well, it broke a rear panhard bar bracket. Not really sure why. It's kind of a freak deal that goes on, and not really sure why. I knew there's something wasn't right with the car really early. The car would wiggle really bad under braking, and turns out it's finally broke the bracket all the way. Evidently, half of it was broken. It was swaying around inside the car, and then it finally broke altogether.
All right, the team's still working on this car to get it back on the racetrack.
In going left and right, you just see Dale Earnhardt Jr. here through the S's. There's so much load back there in that track bar that holds the rear end and the center of the car hard on both brackets, left and right.
Plus, we hook them up backwards here, or what we consider backwards, where it is normally on the right side. It's hooked up to the left side of the frame here.
Brian Vickers gives up third place to make his pit stop. G-Mac Chevrolet. Now, Scott Riggs limped his car onto pit road. Is he going to be able to get it to his pit or to a position of safety?
Yeah, he's just a few feet. He'll be fine.
I think he'll make it.
Yep, he'll be good.
If it's running.
Yeah, he's out of harm's way now. He gets right over there in that area. That's going up to the garage right there.
He can push him from there. Yellow is out.
Now, this is definitely a caution that Dale Earnhardt Jr. wanted to see. I think most of our leaders are going to stay out because they're not to that window for that second stop.
Trouble for the Rocket. Flat left front tire for Ryan Newman.
And he was running in the 8th position. And he'll be able to get to pit road and change his tire and stay on the lead lap without any problem, but this is not in their game plan, trust me.
5, 4, 3,
Dale Jarrett's in as well.
1.
Steve?
They're going to take right sides only, Mike. Tough break for Ryan Newman. Been around the top 10 all day. Right side tires only for the Rocket.
DJ in as well.
You know, they just swept the track up there and cleaned that end of the racetrack, the far end up there. I don't know if these guys are running over something or what's happening.
And the leaders are just now up in turn 7 coming down through the S's, so both these cars will stay on the lead lap. Dale Jarrett stalls it, but he gets it going. Tell you who else this caution was a big break for through the cycle of all those green flag stops that our leaders were making. He's still got, I think, an ill handling car and an uphill battle with 61 laps to go. But Robbie Gordon and the 31 were riding with him on the right side. He's back on the lead lap.
He gets that sway bar hooked up.
Race car.
Junior. Round again.
More coming. 2 more coming.
I'm just almost convinced, Larry, the problem with that car is it keeps getting keeps
Clear.
dropping the rear tire.
Somebody got into us in the corner, Junior.
Well, if somebody got in.
Yeah, I know.
Left rear. I think it's the left rear. Somebody.
Talk to Tony, Junior, so they can look at the fender.
Well, also damaged the right rear.
Yeah, I think right now he just needs to back off a little bit and survive this baby.
He came by in 22nd position that last lap. He's going to be further behind now than that, though. They're trying to go 3 wide into that turn 7 up there.
PJ Jones in the 50.
Just a big bottleneck.
Yeah.
I believe Robbie Gordon's got problems getting in the 31 car. It looks like he maybe's got a right front
now.
down
The right side's messed up on his car.
So Junior recovers from the spin, but again, this could have big point standing implications. One more look here as he gets hit from behind. And look at here at turn 11. Tony Stewart got P.J. Jones.
That's about the second car that Tony has got into down there in turn 11 in the hairpin.
And the 31 here, he's got a tire down the right front, and he just went by his pits. And
this is the opposite side. This is not the left front as a while ago. This is a right front.
Now, he knows that's out on the racetrack. Will there be a caution?
You think there's method to that madness?
There may very well be.
See, he was trying to get the pit road right there. There you see the tire rolling across the infield.
I wonder, Darrell, and maybe this view will show, could he have not made the turn to the pit lane?
I don't know, but that's making me dizzy.
Let's see as he comes toward the pit lane. That is a great camera shot. Thanks to the guys at BST. Trying to turn. Steve?
Mike, I'm listening to Robbie Gordon talk to crew chief Chris Andrews, and it sounded like he knew that he had enough time to get to pit road. Chris Andrews told him just to keep getting around that racetrack, and there you see the tire right front came off the 31.
Well, he'll make it this time and go 1 lap down again.
I might have gotten an argument with my crew chief about that one.
I believe that's one of those deals where I'd say, I'm in.
Yeah, exactly.
Halfway in the Dodge Save Mart 300, and business has picked up. Jeff Gordon's lead has vanished. Scott Pruitt is about 8 car lengths back and 5 lengths behind him. Rusty Wallace is closing as you watch from Rusty's in-car. Dick Berggren.
Well, Scott Pruitt has had an absolutely terrific day, Mike. Some interesting things here. Andy Graves is on the pit box calling this race. Matt Chambers, however, is listed as the crew chief. And eavesdropping on the radio, the instructions to Pruitt consistently are tire management. You're doing a great job, nice and smooth. Every once in a while, he'll key the radio, tell the crew how happy he was with the last pit stop. And here's the thing I get a kick out of. We keep hearing all the time about cars that are pushing, how bad's it pushing. Here they're talking about what's the understeer like. Well, the understeer is getting a little bit worse as the race wears on.
Understeer, that's a formal term that nobody uses around here.
Yeah, no, I tried to explain that one time, and I had it all backwards.
So bring Tommy back in?
Yeah, I need Tommy's help. All I know is these cars get real loose.
Which would be oversteer.
Uh-oh.
Matt Kenseth.
Uh-oh.
And Sterling Marlin. Turn 7. And they got together the lap before that.
They were battling for 16th position.
No caution.
You know, we got a report earlier that Sterling Marlin's out there without 3rd gear. Remember, Matt Kenseth started this race at the back of the pack because of having to go to a backup car over a practice crash.
Sterling's had an adventurous day. Tony got him there in the early going. Or no, Boyce got him in the early going. Oh, man.
Matt Kenseth just gets loose and gets in the back of Sterling Marlin as he's spinning.
Just coming down that hill, Larry, I don't know. There must be something about that turn 4 right there. It's slicker than what the guys expect.
Bobby Labonte with some problems in the top 10 in points in the pits right now.
Well, they got the hood up on the 18 car, which is not a good sign, but now you see him going to the back of the car and makes you wonder maybe if they've got some kind of a electrical trouble or something, and maybe where they're taking it.
He drove off the course.
He got off the course. Up there, it looked like in turn 7, he gets back on, and that's where the problems are. I believe Dick Berger's down there, and he can tell us what's happening. Dick?
Well, Bobby Labonte has certainly got brake problems. They've got all the stuff out that's necessary to fix the brakes, including brake fluid, which would suggest that they've either broken a line or a hose or some sort of a fitting on one of the calipers. But they've definitely got brake problems. He is sitting on pit road, and he is likely to be here for a while.
And you can see that he's lost, thanks, Dick, 3 spots already in points in terms of where he came in and where he is now.
Up until this happened, as he goes down in the corner at turn 9, he gets a little bit of help right there. It looks like maybe about the 41 car of, or was it Boris Said?
Yeah, Mears.
It was Casey Mears that got him, and around he went. But turn number 11 is where everybody tries to pass, and if you cut a guy off and get a little bit too tight, it's easy to spin it around.
Yeah, you see all the leaders coming to pit road. You should see Casey Mears and Casey Kane, the 41 and the 9, stay out. Steve Burns.
Jimmy Johnson and Larry Mack, 4 tires, no other adjustments. Ryan McRae and Ron Malik, the tire carriers, doing their job. Again, no adjustments. Matt Yoakum on Jeff Gordon.
Dropping the rear air pressures on the 24 car to help with forward bite. He's down and away.
Rusty Wallace getting service. Scott Pruitt. Dick Bergman.
Pruitt on pit road, and the big pressure right now is on this pit crew. This is the closest this crew has ever come to having an opportunity to win a race. But they have been beaten out by 2 cars, 3 cars, and one of the tire men on the 01 car was just struck by Pruitt as he tried to get out.
Yeah, it looks like Pruitt's going to go out about 4th of the cars that pitted. Rusty Wallace in that 2 group, they come right out behind Jeff Gordon in the 24. This should be the 3rd and 4th place car right now behind Casey Mears and Casey Kane.
Well, so the way the race started with a little contact from the 2 and the 24, getting down here near the. By the way, it bumped into the tire carrier there on the 1 car. I don't think it was serious, so it looked like he just brushed up against him. Pruitt did on his way out.
Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace win the race off. Part of Pruitt's problem exiting, Joe Nemechek was pitted pretty far back in the box.
Right.
Didn't really show Pruitt a lot of respect, knowing that that stop would be complete and he'd be trying to get out.
Right.
Scott Riggs has crashed. That's down at the pit entrance area. No, I'm sorry, that's turn 10, just
Turn
before
10,
the pit
yeah.
entrance.
I don't know how many times you can wreck one race car, but he set a record this weekend, I think.
A lot of dirt on the racetrack right there, though, as he comes back on and comes out of turn
I got to
10.
think we got to clean that up.
That'll blow away.
I don't know. That's a lot of debris, a lot of rocks, a lot of.
It'll blow away about the first time they come through. Whoa! Gordon almost ran out of racetrack.
Well, you know why? He was so close to Pruitt, he didn't realize how close he was, I don't think.
I tell you what, I'm pretty impressed with Casey Mears in that 41
Casey Mears,
car.
not Pruitt, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Caution, tires at turn 10.
Got to be a
on the
caution over
track.
there, guys. There's too much debris on the track over there.
But what this caution does for these guys that were borderline on fuel, it lets them save more fuel. This will probably give them the insurance to get to the end.
Wait a minute. Where's Casey Kane? Now, Casey Kane was running in 4th, coming up toward turn 2, taking the shortcut. Oops.
Yeah, he just got out a little bit wide right there. That's so easy to have happen. You get offline and get a little dirt on your tires. You see, he gets a little wide here, and you just got to run it off the course.
Mike, back on lap 72, Robbie Loomis told Jeff Gordon, we are still very tight on that fuel. If we get a few more caution laps, we should be able to turn you loose then. Conserve if you can.
Jeff Gordon had a look coming out of turn 4 to the inside on Casey Mears, and he makes the pass.
He's there. Here comes Rusty.
Yeah, they're going to freight train Casey Mears in the 41 if he's not easy. Now, the thing about it, Jeff Gordon gets out there and gets the lead. He'll be able to conserve that fuel. Casey Mears is not ready to give up, though.
Oh, he muscled up Rusty. Pretty good.
You come into the S's there, you got the preferred line when you're on the inside like he was.
And I think conserving.
Oh, there you go. There's trouble right there.
He's going to lose a couple positions.
McMurray gets by.
That's it. And there comes Michael. Michael jumps up in there in the top 5. And that's what we were talking about. making a mistake when it really hurts you.
And the innocent victim was Scott Pruitt, because Pruitt had to lift to keep from running over Rusty. Michael Waltrip got past Pruitt. Pruitt repasses Michael. Nice move. Turn 7. Wow. This is getting really exciting. 77 complete. Robbie Gordon has had the kind of day you wouldn't wish on your least favorite driver. This time, he ran over something on the racetrack, and it cut down the right front tire and then shredded it and left it out on the racetrack. Whatever that is what Robbie ran over.
That's the 3rd tire he's had cut down today.
And that really kind of tells you why. A lot of times we'll see a caution and say, oh, that wouldn't hurt anything. But that's what can happen with anything that's on the racetrack.
Turn 10 here.
Yeah, just rolls the casing right off of the wheel. I was going to break into a fine time to leave me loose wheel for Robbie, but I don't think he'd be in the mood for it.
And of course, what makes it so bad, look how far up the racetrack he is. He's got half the racetrack to come around. They do not run that interliner, that safety shield here, the tire within the tire at the road courses. I bet they don't throw it on the air hose this time, though.
Bad news for Robbie Gordon is bad news for Jeff Gordon. His lead has been erased by this caution flag.
Look at top 5 be good today.
Here comes Pruitt right underneath Rusty. Rusty's going to get shoved out. Is Michael going to be able to squeeze in there? Boy, Michael has had an incredible day. He started dead last. There he is running the top 6.
Steve Burns.
Michael's not known really as a road course racer, but he does have 6 top 10s here at Infineon Raceway. He said recently that his car is just gotten on the tight side. He was apprehensive that might happen, but otherwise a great run for Michael Waltrip.
But now he's got to hold off Mr. Excitement, Darrell. Morris said. There's Morris to the inside.
Oh boy, and it's getting crowded.
Jimmy Johnson to the outside.
Morris gave Michael a little shot there.
And that kept Jimmy behind them.
It's just hard to get a run off turn 11 on the outside. He's got the right position anyhow.
Yeah, Morris is going to close the door on him. Oh, no. Boy, I thought Jimmy had gotten real bad loose.
Oh, it's Brian Vickers, the 25 that has spun. Was having a great run.
That's what happened to...
Go.
It looked like that's what was going to happen to Jimmy Johnson, but he made it.
Gordon followed by the Ganassi team, Jamie McMurray, also Casey Mears, who is a guy who is going to this week be on Days of Our Lives. And he was talking about the role that he was going to play. He said, some girl loses her boyfriend and advertises on my car. He said it was an easy part for me to play. And right now he's doing a pretty good job of running this road course.
Doing a pretty good job running, holding off his teammate as well as Rusty Wallace. His teammate is Scott Pruitt in the 39 car. He looks like you're seeing double with the Target cars.
Dale Jr., who's been around twice today. Not around the block, but spun around. Whoa, Mayfield.
Jeremy Mayfield. He was running in 11th position. That's a terrible spot. We've seen how close cars have been.
Yikes!
Not good.
Come on.
Not good.
Poor old Schrader just gets run plumb off the racetrack. Look at that.
And Schrader's having a good run. He was running up in the 19th position, but he's going to lose several now.
Poor Schrader. That was like a drive-by mugging.
Oh, man.
In Mayfield, like I say, I don't envy his position. I mean, you're sitting there where we've watched cars all day long go right through there where he was sitting coming off that corner.
Well, you're sitting there when you're trying to get going again. You see those cars coming and going, and that's spots you're losing.
Here it is again.
Just gets down that, comes down that hill, just a little too hot.
And now what do you do? Now it looks like he's got a gap here to go. Yikes.
Oh, that was... Raven just barely gets stopped. Here where it gets real close, Kenny Schrader in the 49 car somehow squeaks by.
I think I might have just sat there and waited for a little bit better opening.
So Jeremy's going to go all the way from 11th back to 26th position as we have 30 cars on the lead lap with about 8.5 laps to go.
Here. Oh, Rusty's out of gas. Rusty's out of gas.
He sure is. So Jimmy Johnson goes by. Now Rusty Wallace has got to make this whole 2 miles back around here.
There's no way. He'll barely make it up to the top of the hill there, Larry. Unless he's...
Outside.
No,
inside.
He's done.
Of course, that asks the question again, half a lap to go. Can Jeff Gordon in that 24 car make it?
The good news for Gordon, it's all downhill from here.
Better not sputter, that's all I can tell you. That 42 is close enough that if anything should go wrong.
Down about 1.3 seconds first to second.
Scott Pruitt has backed completely off of his teammate Jamie McMurray now for second.
Boy, look here. Jeff is just being so cautious.
One corner to go.
And he has every right to be. I mean, he's just driven a flawless race all day long.
McMurray is almost there, but Jeff Gordon will come off turn 12 and score his 67th career Cup victory and his 8th road course checkered flag.
But what a run for Jamie McMurray in that 42 car, right there behind him.
That's a career performance, Larry.
In only his second start here, you see all the celebration by the DuPont group. Scott Pruitt in third, Michael Waltrip fourth, Jimmy Johnson fifth, and Boris said comes home in sixth.
You know one thing about Michael? He has finished every race that they've run here. Wow. I think he's only lacked finishing a couple of laps here in 15 races.
Now 16.
16 races.
Welcome to the Nextel post-race show. NASCAR and Nextel partners in speed. Let's get out of victory lane. Jeff Gordon, the California kid, cashes in, and Dick Berggren is standing by. Dick?
And he is out of the car already. You made it look easy on the racetrack, but Jeff, are you okay?
Oh, I'm beat, man. My cool system didn't work worth a darn, and I was just driving my heart out, man. I wanted this win so bad, and what an awesome car and awesome effort by this DuPont race team. I want to thank DuPont and Pepsi and Quaker State Lay's, GMAC, Chevrolet, Goodyear. I mean, I think we got Tyvek or Corner, somebody on the deck lead, Quaker State. What an amazing weekend for us. Hendrick Motorsports is on top of it right now, and man, we need a win so bad. These last 3 or 4 weeks have been not too good, so that was sweet.
How did you keep your concentration given how tired you are?
I drove out and got as big a lead as I possibly could, and then I gave it up at the end. I mean, I couldn't drive the car as hard as I need to there at the end. Those guys started catching me, but whew, you know what? It's Nextel Cup racing, man. How bad have you got it, right? That's what they say, and we want it really bad, and we got it today.
Congratulations. Jeff Gordon absolutely spanked him, led more than anybody else, won for the 4th time. Let's go to Steve.